It's never on your timing, right? Whenever it comes to life, whenever it comes to trading, whenever it comes to whatever, it's never on your timing. And today I was a bit unlucky in terms of what I wanted to happen didn't happen on my timing. But that's life, right? There's so many times in life where we go through things that just aren't on our timing. We can do everything that we're supposed to do everything that we want to do, right? Perfectly. And yet it doesn't go in our way. The outcome that we wanted doesn't end up happening. The result that we were striving for doesn't end up occurring. So that's what I want to talk about today. Um, I took a couple losses today. I sized up not too much, just a little bit, just to make it comfortable. Right? Again, risking $200, so it's not anything crazy. We took two losses, we locked the account, it's fine. I think the thing that sucks about the way that I've been trading as of late is like when you take a couple losses in a day, like it wipes out all of last week's gains, you know? So it's like if I come down here, it's like you have a big fat minus $400 day when you only made $400 last week. Um, so yeah, in that sense, that does suck. But at the same time, too, I'm really happy with the way that I traded. I took awesome trades today. They just didn't happen. It just didn't work out, right? And you can see too on the practice, if I had taken another trade on the practice, this is exactly what I would have done. I probably would have sized in a little bit differently and things like that, but um, I just let it go like an hour after I took these trades just to show like, okay, let's see if I don't touch anything, if I just enter where I would have entered on the third try, what would have happened? And right now we'd be in profit. I'm sure I'd be protecting it some, but and our target was 118, which we did hit. It didn't fill me though on the practice. I don't know why. Um, but we got it, right? So it shows that there's nothing wrong that I did today. Of course, there's always something that I can learn in terms of my trades. So let me actually put my chart executions on and we'll kind of show what we were looking for. So first we come here. This is exactly what we're looking for, right? Start trading around 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Tokyo Open. Perfect setup here. We're at value area lows. We're also on prior day point of control too. So two lessons that can be learned from today. One, if we are on any type of point of control, whether it is the current session's point of control or whether it is prior day point of control, it's always going to be a choppy mess, right? And that's something that I didn't figure out until today, so it's a good learning point. It's always going to be a little bit choppy. So I have to be able to give it room, right? And I have to take my time entering. I think I did enter on two contracts or five contracts initially and then added a couple, but it was so quick. I never gave it time. You can see we actually took one off here too at VWAP because I was like, cool, we take one off. You know, I'm expecting a small pullback and then we continue, but I mean, we just completely blew through my stop loss there, so that sucked. Um, which is fine. I chose these points right here to be my stop loss rather than this huge pivot point, which was at the end of Friday, just because I felt like if we're heading lower than this, then we're probably not going higher. But I was wrong. I should have used this as my stop loss, but that's fine. I believe that the current session's pivot points are stronger for support areas rather than um, after hours, right? Or rather than Asian session. So that's one thing to note. The second thing to note too is what ended up happening after. So we took a loss here, right? Coming back in, we took another loss here, right? What happened here was we had selling climax. I believed it to be selling climax. But one thing I've always said that I didn't really think of today is that whenever you hit selling climax, it doesn't mean that the selling completely stops at that point and you won't head lower than that. right? So that's where I put my stop loss initially. It means that at some point in the very near, it doesn't have to be very near, but in the near future, you will start looking for buys to come in. Now, you could stagnate, you can even go a little bit lower like you did in this candle here, right? But at some point, you will start looking to head higher, and which is exactly what happened. So I think I added here for my practice trade. If we can come back and look and see. I don't remember, to be honest. It might have been, so this candle was at 8:51. We actually added here at 8:47. So 8:47 we added, yeah, it was this candle right here. Really good price movement here. Not the highest of volumes, but high enough to justify buying at value area lows here. You could have added here as well. That would have been fine. Um, And yeah, it would have been a good trade. As you can see here, we are now in profit and we're heading to our target of 118, which I do believe we will hit. Um, which we did already hit actually, but I don't know why Topstep didn't fill me at that point. Maybe because it's like a limit order, but I don't know, I'm not sure. But either way, right? It's a solid trade. So I was unlucky, right? Everything is about timing, and it's never on your timing. You have to understand that. It's never going to be on your timing. And this is going to transition into um, a little bit more of a, I guess you could say, morbid topic, I guess, or a little bit of a depressing topic. But I want to talk about it. I definitely want to talk about it, and that's death, right? So why am I talking about death? I've been thinking a lot about death as of late, not for myself, right? In terms of like me, like not being here of my own accord, of my own choice, um, but just dying, right? In the sense of I could pass away at any time, or my girlfriend can pass away at any time, or my family can pass away at any time. It's just something that's been on my mind, right? Especially too with the anniversary of 9/11 and how the whole world changed at that point. I was just a small kid. I was about, how old was I? About 5 years old. I was just about 5 years old, but I still remember looking at it on the television screen and seeing like what is going on. I knew at that point in my life, I knew that that was not normal. Whatever I saw going on with the plane hitting the building, right? So I've been thinking a lot about life and a lot about death. Yesterday was my brother's birthday, and he came home, which was awesome. So me and my family were hanging out, and we have family talks. We always do. And one of the topics that came up was my brother took a week off from work. He's also a physical therapist too. He took a week off from work and he didn't take a week off from work for his birthday to go party and to go hang out with people or whatever, whatever, but he came home instead. Um, which was awesome. My parents were really happy about that he came home to celebrate his birthday with us, and to enjoy his time here with his family. And as we're getting older, my dad's going to turn 60 this year. There's only so much time we have left. One of the things I said to Stephanie today, we watched Demon Slayer, the movie, and it was so good. But there's a lot of death in it, right? A lot of the topic of death, broaching death. Um, and one of the things that we spoke about was as we get older, we're just getting closer and closer to dying, right? But we never know when we're going to die. We don't choose it. It's never on our time. It's never on your time. And I think that's something that we also have to be able to understand when it comes to just general aspect of living. We have to do the best that we can while we're here in order to make an impact while we're here, right? Because we never know when we're going to leave this earth. We never know when we're going to die. And it's tough. It's hard. It's hard to accept that fact. It's hard to accept that we could just pass away at any time, that our loved ones can pass away at any time. It's one of those things where it's like, man, like I can't believe that we just don't get a say in that. Of course, I do believe that, but it's like when it actually happens, when it actually occurs, it's tough. I know that people passing away, loved ones, people that you're close to, it's not a unique thing, it's a universal thing. But it still hurts all the same. It's still one of those things where it's like it sucks, right? So you have to do what you can while you're here to communicate with those people that you love, that you do love them, that you do care about them, right? That there's so many bigger things in life than a small squabble that you had with them, or a disagreement, an argument, or, differing opinions. Life is so much bigger than that, right? So we have to be able to focus on the similarities, be able to focus on the fact that we're all human beings and we should treat each other with respect and understand that we all have our own individual lives, that we're just trying to do the best that we can, you know? Um, I think my girlfriend sent me a quote that was on grief that I thought was very telling, um, in a sense of being able to put it in perspective of exactly what that means. And one of the quotes she sent me to, one of the quotes is, "Grief never ends, but it changes. It is a passage, not a place to stay. Grief is not a sign of weakness, nor lack of faith. It's the price of love." The second quote is, "Grief is the price we pay for love, but love is the strength that carries us through grief." And I completely agree with those quotes. I know that I've lost people in the past, and sometimes it can be unbearable, just the amount of weight that's on you, knowing that you've lost someone that's really close to you. And it's very difficult. It's very hard. But at the end of the day, if we can look back and say that we did all we could, that we gave it our all, that we showed that person while they were here that we loved them, then that's all we can do. But it's never on our timing, right? It's never on your time. I had a relationship where she passed away, and I didn't say everything I wanted to say to her. I didn't tell her everything I wanted. I didn't give her the love that I should have while she was here. And I had a lot of regret over that for a long time, you know? But I know in those moments that we were together, that I tried to show her everything I could of how much she meant to me. And I know that she knows now of how much she means to me currently as well, you know? And it's something that I learned. I was only 19 years old at that time, but it's been a huge part of me, um, that passing, that I think has been able to help me when it comes to total perspective of things, right? So losing a trade, yeah, it sucks. And of course, if you blow an account, that sucks. And if a trade doesn't go your way, right, when you thought it would have gone your way, that sucks, right? Like, for example, today, I really believed in this trade. I really thought it would go my way, right? But it didn't. But in the grand scheme of things, doesn't really mean much, does it? You know, it doesn't really mean much. It, it's just one of those things where it's like, you have to understand that it's just a trade, you know? It's not bigger than life. Life is so much bigger than trading. Life is so much bigger than buying all of these materialistic things that you want through trading. You know, I don't even trade for those things. I trade to be able to sustain my family. I trade to be able to help my family going through financial difficulty. I trade to be able to give myself freedom, right? I don't trade to buy a Lambo. Will I rent a Lambo for a day? Yeah, and I'll show it off acting like I bought a Lambo, but that's an April Fool's joke, you know? But am I trying to make $1,000 a day or a week or 10 or 20K a month for a Lambo? No. I'm trying to do it to be able to help those around me. And I hope that I'm able to do that with the time that I have. So, anyway, guys, yeah, a little bit more somber today. I understand that. And it's not because I lost today, because again, I thought I took awesome trades today. They just didn't happen on my timing. So 2 points learned. One, point of control is always going to be choppy. Slow down in entering your position sizes. And two, whenever you see selling climax, yes, most likely it is a turning point. Um, so let it turn before you enter as well. But I think the moral of the story is today is that, you know, whether it's trading or in life, it's never on your timing. And you have to be able to accept that. So much easier said than done, but with my trade today, I accept that. With life and death, it's much harder for me to accept, but I just need to keep working on it, do some meditation, some negative visualization in order for myself to get to that point of being able to accept it more readily. So, yeah, anyway guys, that's it for this video today. Um I hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys are trading well. And yeah, keep trading stoically.